Hey everybody, I am Dwayne Burns, and I hope everyone's having a great day. And we're going to continue with our Retro Bowl tutorial slash Detroit Lions Championship Retro Bowl saga. So we recently received our first L against New Orleans. They had a pretty decent offense. We played on hard at that game, and we're a little bit undersized and banged up. So right now we're going to work hard. We're returning back home to Ford Field in the beautiful city of Detroit, and we're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Pittsburgh, of course, won their fifth Super Bowl at Ford Field as Super Bowl 40. Um, some fun facts about Super Bowl 40. Um, Jerome Bettis won a Super Bowl championship there. It was his final game of his career, and he was born and raised in Detroit. And he played football, I believe, at Mumford. Correct me if I'm wrong. And he grew up with some of my college football teammates, actually. And speaking of college football teammates, I also had the pleasure of playing with a gentleman by the name of Charlie Batch, who grew up in Pittsburgh. He played at Eastern Michigan and was actually drafted by the Detroit Lions. And his best season with the Detroit Lions was, I believe it was 1999. Yes, it was 1999, where he got off to a 6-2 start. And they beat the same team that won the Super Bowl that year, the St. Louis Rams. And they caught a bad break when Charlie Batch, on a simple throw, when he dropped his hand after the throw, he jammed his thumb on a helmet, and it cost him games. And the Lions were never the same after that. After starting 6-2, they finished 8-8 and got manhandled by the Redskins. And I believe up until 2011 to 2013, that was their last playoff game. Because in the Matt Millen era, the sad and depressing 2000s of the Detroit Lions, the 2000s decade by far was the worst in franchise history, and the 2010s was the second worst. But at least the Lions had playoff appearances in the 2010s. But what we're going to do is check out the uniforms. We're going to go back to the. Let me see. Actually, let's have some fun. Let's go with the. We'll make it a color rush game. So I kind of remember the Lions color rush uniforms by heart. I'll do them over here. So A8B1BA, 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 A8B1BA. Plug my charger back in. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right. The socks are slightly different, but I did save it. All right. Those are my two sons. I'm going to go to Google Photos. Then I want to go to library, Retro Bowl. That's interesting. I selected Retro Bowl. Okay. Library. Where are my albums? Oh, there they go. Eight 38 A87. 838 A87. 838 A37. Oh, 838A. Let me start over. 838A87. 173 FAD. 173 FAD. I have big hands. Please bear with me. A8B. Forgot that fast. A8B1BA. Oops, they're on the wrong side. A38A87. Oh man. I wish I could copy paste. See if I can. Nope, it'll disappear. 838A87. 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 Thank you. 838A87. There we go. Those are Lions Color Rush jerseys. And then we're going to go to Pittsburgh. We're going to do their Color Rush jerseys. Theirs is pretty easy. All black. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. The funniest moment I had this year was for the first time ever, I saw Mac and Devin go to high school. And that was the funniest movie I've seen in years. So the pants are black. F2D 200. F2D 200. They should have had all black pants. I wish they can adjust the stripe, but that might be too much work for the creator. So we're ready to go. And even though it's dynamic, I think because we're just starting, it may be an easier game, but the defense is not that good for Pittsburgh, and their offense isn't really good either. They're only off to a 2-5 start. We have a really good defense, and our offense remains to be seen. But let's see what happens. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I got to change. While the Lions don't change their end zone during color rush games, I do. So I'll do the 838 A87. 838 A87. And then what I might do also is do a what's called a Lions Downtown Football Classic and play the game at Comerica Park. I'll tell you what, if we get either 100 views or 100 likes, we'll do a game at Comerica Park outdoors, even if it's in the snow. So we'll go ahead and get started. We have the kickoff. All right. So now we don't have any. I have my tight end, and what I'm going to do is hit the running back because he's back. Even though I don't have star receivers, I'm still going to get the passing game involved to build up his experience points to make his passing game better. But I will hit the tight end a lot during this game, as long as he's not blocking. Now, the thing I like about Pittsburgh in general as a city is that, to me, they're like a smaller version of Detroit before the white flight and the riots. Because Pittsburgh is very clean as far as I've read and flourishing. Detroit was like that, especially during the Great Migration from the South, where people from the South moved up north to Detroit due to all the automotive companies and plants and jobs. There was a time where people made so much money. An entry-level job in the automotive industry is comparable to $100,000 per year job when you count the money back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s and 50s to 2020 money, because of the fact that neighborhoods were new and developing, and you had more than enough money to pay all of your bills, save, invest if you were wise about that, provide an education for your family. If you wanted to spend a little bit more money, do some overtime and have your kids in private school. Flash forward to 2020, you do overtime, and they give you just enough money to get 2 hot and readies for the week. So that's why I'm a firm believer in entrepreneurship, and that's still a goal of mine, because I want to build generational wealth for my children. And I'll have some videos that I'll talk about that in due time. So, but anyway, with the with the city of Pittsburgh, as much as I hate to say it, to me, it's Detroit done right. Not gonna even hold you up. But Detroit is getting better. People call it gentrification, but the city of Detroit, in some pockets, especially closer to downtown, is getting a lot better. Especially if you go down Woodward. So it is what it is. Anyhow, the Lions are playing really well. They have a nice sizable lead. Hopefully we can build some more points before halftime. And Herbig is back. So tell me what you like about the color rush uniforms on this game, if you like them. So Pittsburgh is in the transition phase, and so is Detroit. A a part of me feels like they should have drafted Tua. At the time, the only reason why I wasn't instantaneously reacting to, I thought it was the third quarter, instantaneously reacting to Tua being drafted was because of his hip and because of Stafford's contract. Shout out to Jalen Rose. He made a very good point at the time. Was that what the Lions should have done was draft Tua, let Stafford develop him for a year, trade Stafford to New England, and let Stafford win championships in New England while Tua builds a championship here. Ooh, just got the timeout off. So we're going to go for it. We have a running back. Great decision. All right. No risk, no reward. Well, I've been a firm believer of that. Okay. So, but now the more I think about it, even though Tua's hip is a risk, while Tua can show you how good his hip looks during an hour or so of drills, how does the hip hold up over a season? How does the hip hold up in cold weather? How does the hip hold up in year 2 after 1 year of wear and tear? And that was my concern because I saw what a hip injury did to Bo Jackson's career. I used to watch Bo Jackson and I used to think, wow, like, I thought it was like the reincarnation of Jim Brown's career. A guy that can run over you, around you, over you, and by you with ease. And Barry Sanders cannot run you over, but he's hard to tackle. But I remember like it was yesterday. I saw the game, January 91. They played the Cincinnati Bengals. And I remember it was like it was yesterday. Bo Jackson was running past everybody. People had trouble tackling him. And it was one play where a Bengals guy barely caught Bo's foot. And because Bo has so much power and energy, instead of Bo going straight down, his body separated at the hip. And it was a freak accident. Normally when a guy gets caught like that from behind, they go straight down. But because of Bo Jackson's power and stamina and inertia and force, Bo's power, ironically, was his own worst enemy. And he was never the same. And I was like, wow. I was like, yeah, he's hurt, but he's so big and so strong. He's probably going to miss like a game or two. But then the way they talked about how serious he hurt it and he had to have hip replacement surgery, I was like, that's it. But what he did baseball-wise after that, despite of, is amazing. Most people cannot do it. But even in baseball, he was never the same. No more super long home runs. No more climbing the wall with his feet. But the athleticism was very rare, and I don't think it'll ever be seen again. You'll see guys who are very strong, and you'll see guys that are very fast. But you'll never see that put together into one presentation ever again. At least not for a long time. But speaking of Bo Jackson, I loved him in Tecmo Bowl. And this is after going back and watching a YouTube video on Tecmo Bowl. Even though this game is slightly based off of it, there's a lot more moves, of course, and a lot more definition and a lot better gameplay, even though it's just offense right now. But it does make the game faster. So, with that said, the Lions are off to another great start. They still control their own destiny. Seattle is still winning pretty well. I guess now the tiebreakers are kind of loosey goosey here. For those of you that don't know how the tiebreakers work in the NFL, first it goes by the best record in head-to-head competition, then the best record in the conference, and then the best record against common opponents. And then I think it's strength of victory. Then it's strength of schedule, strength of victory, record against common opponents, and then after that, it's most points scored. On here, when it wants to work, is head-to-head matchup, then division record, then conference record, and then the most points scored. I've seen it to where I did not have the tiebreaker, and I still had home field advantage. But hey, why draw stars? This is a nostalgic game, very fun to play. So again, we're off to a great start. So going to give props to the tight end since the coordinator is maxed out. And let's see how everybody did stat-wise. So the running game and passing game were superb. Despite not having our receiver, but he's back. The defense played tremendously. So now we get to increase the speed of the running back, which is huge. We'll increase the strength of the tight end. And the tackling the DB. And Golden Blake is back, which will help us out immensely. So looking at the roster with full health and full strength. So we'll see how we look moving forward. We'll see how we do against Green Bay. And I enjoyed our conversation tonight. We're going to play Green Bay for the second time this season. So I just want to thank you all for chilling out with me and enjoying this video. Please hit like and subscribe. And you all take care until next time.